Okay, so let me start back. Okay, so a lot of people ask, there's a lot of different ways to farm. There's different, like Marlene was saying, there's different things. And then also, you want to know, why should you farm? Can you hear me?
Let me
Yep.
interrupt you real quick. Can
Okay.
you record? Are you recording it?
I am.
Okay.
I am. Okay. You scared me. Okay, so hold on a second. Why? Okay, hold on. Sorry. I'm trying to do this, but it's like not, I don't know why. But anyways, okay, so we'll do it like this because I don't know why it's not wanting me to do my whole screen. So the first thing you want to do and this is choosing a farm that you guys, not your Spear, not your listed and just sold and stuff like that. This is the farm that Marlena was talking about. So, you want to select a farm, and just dependent upon you, be realistic with yourself as far as size goes. Now, if you work with someone, then obviously you could do a little bit more because, 2 people or 3 people are better than one. But if it's you by yourself, then start with a number that is going to be, that's going to be realistic for you and that's going to be manageable. And meaning budget wise, and because sometimes if you're going to be mailing stuff out, obviously mail costs, pieces cost. If you're going to be, just printing stuff, but you're going to be walking it yourself. So you're going to, you're going to want to make sure that you're going to be able to touch everybody, and then the other thing you can do also is, what I've seen what's successful too is to build a Facebook group, or a website, for that particular community. So like, let's just say it's Creekside, in Ontario. So if you build something, a Facebook group on Creekside, obviously you're going to be putting valuable information, whether or not it's your listing or not, whether or not you just sold a home or not. You could even welcome new homeowners. Once you know that someone moved in, it's just a place of information. You want people to go there when they want to know information. So school information. So you have to be on top of it. So remember, if you're going to commit to doing something like this, it's important that you are giving it the information, so that way people will go there. They need to know, oh, something's going on. I wonder if the schools are going to be closed or something. It's easier to go there where you give an update, or something like that. Where should I farm? So make sure that you can answer yes to these questions. So is it convenient? Meaning, is it within, is it on my way to the office? Is it close to my home? Is it a place that you're familiar with? Because again, if it's out of the area, it's tough to get to. So you want to definitely farm in a place that's convenient for you. And are you able to relate to the owners? So again, you want to make sure that you're going to be farming with a community that's going to be relatable. And again, let's just say it's all, Hispanics and you don't speak Spanish. Well, that might not be a good connection for you, so you want to make sure that you're relatable with, the people, that the lifestyles and, just the way they are, to be sure you're not wasting your time. Because obviously if you're sending mailers in English, they may not even be reading them. So just, be mindful of those things. The other thing is, would you want to work this farm forever? And the reason you want to ask yourself that is because you don't want to start and stop. It's too much work, to start and stop and start and stop. So you want to find an area or a community that you can see yourself working, for as long as you're going to be doing it. So it's, because again, it's important to be consistent. So consistency always. So farming, it's not just mass mailing. And that's what a lot of people think. And I think that's why a lot of people get discouraged, because they just mail stuff out, and nothing happens. Well, you have to position yourself so you're the go-to professional when the need comes. Not everybody needs to sell today. Not everybody needs, something today. This is something that is, you're building a relationship. So this is lifelong. And like I said, you can get there and maybe within that first month you get lucky because it just happens to be the right timing for someone, and there it goes. But it can take time for you to build, obviously the trust and the relationships within that community. But you want to be able to make sure, like I said, that you're going to be in the area, because you never know. You might see them at the grocery store or something like that. So again, they want to become familiar with, who you are. And the benefits that I truly see, and like I was telling you, Lupe, that I don't personally cold call. It's just never been something that I've ever wanted to do. Um, but the thing about farming is it's rejection free, because you know, they're not gonna, you know, you don't know, you're sending stuff out. So there, it's not a, you know, a contact type of thing. And then, you know, what happens is once you start establishing your relationships with everything, you increase your income, number one. And then number two, it's more consistent income flow, because again, it's kind of like the wheels just spinning and you're still there, you're doing what you know, the work. And then eventually, you know, the leads, you know, start coming in their timing. So the best thing that I think that I've seen, and this is again just for the farm in which you're farming that community or area, and this is important for you to create groups. And the reason why is because let's just say you can't, if let's say you have 300 homes or 500 homes, you're not going to be able to touch every single one. So if you break them up into different categories, so then maybe you can say this week I'm going to send group a letter, you know, and this is what I recommend if you're going to break into a farm. So let's say, like, for all of you guys who are just starting, so, you know, come up with a, you know, some type of letter, just let everybody know that, you know, you're, you know, what you do, you know, what about, you know, who you are and where you're, you know, what company you're with and all that good stuff. So that's going to be your first letter, your, you know, your intro letter to the community. And again, you can give a lot of great information. That can be the time where you're like, go to my, you know, Facebook group where I'm going to provide, you know, information, you know, all kinds of different stuff, you know, whatever it is you're going to provide. And then group B, maybe those people you're going to make personal visits to introduce yourself. You're just introducing yourself. You're not going and saying, hi, I want to know if you're interested in buying or selling. That's not what your purpose is. Your purpose is just to meet them and just say, I just wanted to meet the neighbors in this, you know, in this area, you know, simple as that. And then group C, you could either send them a call or a text. And so that way, again, you're not having to go out into the field this time, you're just calling, texting, and then you're going to alternate. So then in 30 days, the group C, now maybe you're sending them the letter, and group B, you're, you know, you're texting them. And then group A, you know, you're doing the personal visit. You know, you're just going to keep doing those things. And then after the 3 months, they're going to know who you are now because they've seen you. They, you know, you've introduced yourself, you gave them who you are, and now you can begin your mass marketing. Now you can start giving, you know, giving them information about yourself, which like we kind of went like over some of these things dependent upon, and this is when this is when Fidelity Farm comes in, where you're going to want to break it down, because you might have rent tenants who are, you know, who are tenants. So you're going to know, well, you can create farms based on, you know, whatever it is, like absentee owners, like you said, people who are in default, new buyers, you know, you're going to be able to break it down in all kinds of subcategories. So then if it's 5 people are this, 6 people are this, 7 people are this, 8 people are this, well, your marketing pieces are going to be directed towards that consumer. It's not just a general thing saying, hi, I buy and sell homes, or hi, I, you know, I sell and buy homes, or hi, you're sending like the tenants a rent versus buy. A homeowner doesn't really need to know that because they already know, they've already made the investment, they understand, you know, why they're a homeowner. You know, the homeowner maybe wants to know, I know Jessica sent me one, where's the one you sent me yesterday, Jessica? Send it to me again. The one you did for Katie, send me that one so I can show them. So like for a homeowner right now that's on the fence of selling, they want to know what kind of market we're in. You know, there's obviously going to be stuff for them. And, you know, obviously for a homeowner that's in default, you know, there's going to be something for them. And they're not going to know if it's, you know, catered to them or not, because they know that you send stuff out all the time. So they're not going to know, you know, what it is. Obviously send market updates. I think market updates are great, at least every 60 days, just so that way they can kind of get a feel for what's happening in the market. And then once you start, it probably takes a good 9 to 12 months to really start to get a flow going with they're knowing who you are now. They see you in the neighborhood and stuff like that. So then you can start building where it's maybe the people that you talk to, you can start doing more for those particular people. You can send them maybe a nice calendar. You can send them a little bit more things. You know, you're going to be able to break down another category into your farm, maybe saying, you know, VIP farm people or whatever. And then you're going to be able to put those people in there little by little as you make contact with them. And when you're talking to them, if you feel like, wow, you know, I think I'm establishing a relationship with this family, then obviously, you know, pull their address out of your basic farm, put them into a special category, and then obviously treat them special. You know, send them a little bit more, you know, stuff that's a little bit more catered to them. So I think those are some of the good ideas. And then also the and then this is what I was saying, getting to know your farm, like who lives in each home. You know, is it a tenant, owner? Are they senior? Are they delinquent? Are they new owners? You know, is it someone that just had someone pass away? Is it a widow? So, and expireds are good too. So you want to be the queen of that farm. You know, you're going to be hovering over that farm like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to be all up on that thing. And I know I mentioned this before, but if a new owner moves in and you weren't helping that buyer, because a lot of times, you know, you might not help the buyer that comes into the area because obviously the buyer's agent, you know, is from out of the area and that happens, but you want to welcome them into your neighborhood. And you want to let them know this is, you know, I am the neighborhood specialist. So, you know, welcome to the neighborhood. You know, something simple, something they're going to put on their fridge. Because remember, everybody loves stuff that's free. So you definitely have to invest in your marketing. Marketing is so important. It's investing in your business. So make sure that each time you guys, you know, get a commission check, it's just like you're a business owners. We're entrepreneurs. So it's just like anyone that owns a business, you know, when they get, you know, money, they don't just put it in their bank account and that's theirs to spend. They have expenses. And it's the same thing. We have expenses too in order to run our business as, you know, as a professional. So those are important things. And you can, you know, there's a lot of different places where you guys can obtain that stuff. But I'm going to show you really quick, like Jessica, we came up with this one yesterday because after that call that we had with Marlena, are you on the call, Marlena? I can't see who's on the call. That's why. We ended up doing this one yesterday for Katie because again, we were on that call with Steven, I think his name is, the economist.
Thomas.
Okay, so him. So he gave us this slide. So what we did was we just exported the slide and then we created a flyer. And the reason it caught my eye was because right now, a lot of people aren't sure what kind of market we're in. So basically, Katie is sending this, and she's actually texting these homeowners. She's texting them a copy of this, like just in case they're curious to know what kind of market we're in because they don't know. And so this is something to just to kind of spark up a conversation. So again, you just have to determine what it is that that you want to market to, you know, what your marketing piece is. And, but again, this is, you know, obviously this is another part of it. You have to, for those of you that took her Canva training, Jessica's Canva training. But yeah, you just have to find the pieces that are going to catch their eye. And remember, it's always ask a question. You know, you want to ask the question so that way they'll read it, you know, or they're going to answer themselves like, oh, wow, like this is this or whatever. Because again, if you just put yourself all over it and then they don't, you know, it's hard for them to understand what's the purpose of your marketing. It's not going to be engaging. So the one thing that you want to make sure is that you're asking a question, and if it's relatable to them, then they're more likely to engage. Maybe not instantly, because sometimes things don't happen instantly. I read somewhere where it says that it takes someone to receive seven messages from you before they'll actually, like if they don't know you, it takes them 7 times to hear or see your name in order for them to send a reply to you. So that's why a lot of times people don't want to follow up. They're like, oh, I tried calling once, they didn't call me back. But it doesn't mean that they didn't want to call you back, because even speaking for personal experience, if someone calls me, I might be busy, or I might have missed a call or something. Things happen. We already know life happens. So don't get into your own head and think, oh shoot, they don't want to talk to me, because that might not be the case. So I continue, I believe in overwhelming them just until they tell you, get the out of here, then continue. So, but anyways, that's basically just all I wanted to show you guys, because you guys have to start, you just have to start, and I know it's intimidating sometimes, but you really have, it takes time, when you're working in it, sorry, something's in my throat, but it takes time. You just have to, but you have to put the time aside to work in it. And I know Katie can tell you, she's been working it, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. If you can afford to have an assistant who can work on it for you, when you work on it yourself, you're going to appreciate the person that's working on it for you, because it's a lot of work. It really, really is. We have another agent here in the office. She's been working on hers for 3 days, and she's like, I can't believe how much work this is. But I told her, you know what? The thing is you're doing the work once. You're doing it once, you're setting it up once. And then once you set it up, then it's easy from there, but again, and the initial, yeah, it is a lot of work. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Amen to that.
So does anyone have any questions, any feedback, any win stories, or anything at all? Has anyone ever farmed or done anything like that? Oh, the other thing too, like she was saying, is farming. See, like I was telling you, I don't like cold calling, because to me, I don't like it. But if there's a purpose behind my call, then it's a little bit different. So like, let's say for instance, I put a house up for sale. Okay, so we did, like today we did. So what we'll do is we will pull, the homes around the area, usually between 300 to 500, and then start calling. But we don't have a dialer. We just call. So we start calling and just saying, hey, we just listed a property. Do you know anyone that's, looking to buy or sell in the area? Do you want to select your neighbor? That type of thing. So for those, we do that. And when we do record numbers, like stuff that's crazy and it's unheard of, like in today's market, let's just say, we'll definitely call also, once it's sold. Like, we just sold this property. If you're thinking about selling, we'll even prepare some type of flyer and even text it to them, or even, like I said, pass out the flyers as well, just to let them know. But you definitely want to market your listings. And even if they're not your listings and you want listings, and the listing agent isn't doing it, like let's say someone in your office, you can ask them, like, hey, you know what, are you farming your listing area? And if they're like, no, okay, well, do you mind if I do? Because why? It's open work. I mean, it's open territory, obviously, but it's a lot of, I'm telling you, most agents they don't market. And the likelihood of you gaining more business is likely if you work the area. So, and the whole goal should be, a listing should get you 3 or 4 more deals. Again, not instantaneously, but it can be, right, Katie? It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. If you work it, it happens. But if you don't, like I said, you're losing opportunities. And the thing that hurts the most, I think, as an agent, is when you just put up a sign for sale and then 3 weeks later you see a couple more around the area and you did not walk that area. That hurts.
Yes.
Because it's so simple to just, like I said, even if you don't do it, if you're too busy and you don't have an assistant, then tag team with someone. Get another agent. Say, hey, you know what? Why don't you do this? And we'll split it, or we'll do whatever, whatever your arrangement is. But don't lose. Find someone that, that has your work ethic. That's important. Someone that works like you. So that way, obviously, you're going to attend the appointments together and do stuff like that. So you want to be able to be sure it's someone that's going to work, the way you work. But that's also an idea too, so that way you don't feel like you lose those opportunities. Yes.
Well, I have a question. What do you think works better? Actually, just having somebody, or you yourself hanging them on the door, or the direct mail so that they actually get it through the mail? When you
I personally like direct mail, personally. But if you don't want to do direct mail every month, then maybe at least every other month. But I think the direct mail is good because if they're not getting the one on the door, maybe they're just putting it as soon as they walk in the house, they just throw it somewhere. The direct mail, usually people sit down, they're looking through their mail. So I think, and they're more likely to open up. We handwrite everything. So we don't put labels on anything. Everything is handwritten. So that way we want them to open it up because people are like, okay, who spends time handwriting anymore? You know, it's so they want to know what's inside that envelope. So, yes.
Another question. Okay, so when you you're just got a listing or you don't send those postcards, you actually handwrite something and send it in.
No, no. I'm talking about for the farming. No,
Okay.
on those, no, it's just the flyers. Yes. And we just put them on the door. Yeah. But they're not that, we don't use the door hangers. We do an actual postcard.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a little bit, okay. You can probably do it like that too, but I just think that's probably a lot of work to do that. Yeah.
So Sonia, you have your postcards printed by a company
Yes.
that you distribute?
We either do, some of the agents will print them themselves, depending on who's going to pass it out, but we do have companies that we do send them out to. Yeah.
And also I want to tell everybody, because it's the stories you want to share. We have to
Yes.
farm neighborhoods, people. While I love Elmer Morales so much, I did not enjoy seeing his sign about 4 doors down from me. FYI, just a little tidbit.
Yeah, no, it's true. And that's why, again, do your neighbors know what you do? Do your, are you, and then you know what? There's nothing wrong because there's times where people don't want to work with you because they don't want you to know their business. That's okay. It's going to happen. We can't get everything, but when it's never you, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So, and then people, you have to be likable because there is a guy in my area who, drives his car that's all, wrapped up or whatever. And, but nobody likes him. It's because how he is, his mannerism is horrible, and so he just walks around like he's all that. And so it's like, people aren't going to want to work with you, and he doesn't really get, nothing. I haven't seen him at all, but I'm just saying you can tell when someone, is truly wants to help you and stuff like that. But no, farming, like I said, it's one of those things where if you want to be in this for the long haul, it's to build your business. You don't stop whatever else you're doing to prospect. It's just one avenue.
Yeah.
So you have to make the time in your schedule, to farm. And again, dependent upon you, dependent upon how, your budget, how often and all that stuff, you have to break all of that down to determine, how much time you're going to invest in it, when, and be consistent. That's all I can tell you is be consistent. Show up even when you don't want to show up. You have to show up because those are going to be the days where you're like, I wasn't going to come today and look at what happened. Has that ever happened to anybody?
Yeah.
Right? You're not, I don't want to go. Then you show up and you're like, and then something happens. You're like, man, if I wouldn't have been here, this wouldn't have happened. So show up even when you don't want to.
Ma'am.
Do you get a lot of calls on your postcards, Sonia?
Do you know what? I don't get really calls. We get emails, surprisingly. So make sure you're checking your spam and your regular emails. They usually email or text. They don't typically call.
And
I actually, what happened?
Go ahead. Oh no, I was just gonna say, like for her, like for farming, like when I think about it, I get impatient. I started it with Sonia and then I just got lazy. I'm just gonna admit that. I got lazy, and then across from my condo, there's a so sorry, I didn't mean to say that. There's a for sale sign with Kevin Shu's name right there.
He's everywhere in Rancho. Everywhere in
And I
Rancho.
was like, who am I mad at? I'm mad at myself because she told me and she was like, just do it. Come. I'm like, I don't got time for this. And I'm just going back to whatever I like to do, right? But that hurt when I saw that sign. I was like, okay, all right, cool. Let's do it, right? But Farming Fridays, big picture, right? Farming is big picture. It's later. So when you're doing it, that's the only thing that I would share is don't expect anything right away, because we attach an outcome to what we do. And when we don't get instant gratification, we're like, bye. That's been my problem since I've forever.
Yeah.
But like, I just keep that in mind. Big picture, Lupe. Anyone who's going to start a farm, big picture, just know that you're just planting seeds, you're watering your garden, you're just cropping your harvest. That's it. Okay? And watch. And don't expect anything from it, and then watch it come to you out of nowhere. That's how it works.
Okay, this is, she used to work for Champions.
Oh, Letitia.
Yeah. I get Letitia and Alberto. I get there at least twice. It seems like I'm getting stuff all the time. I live in their farm area.
I was gonna say you must be in Chino.
Yeah, I'm in Chino, and they send postcards. They send this. They send mail outs. They blast everything.
They do.
And they were doing it with Remax Champions too, and then they switched to Keller Williams. But I'm looking at they are really consistent, so I guess they get a lot of listings because they're consistent all the time.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm thinking. I've got to get a printer and actually do my stuff, to be more.
Well, that's why you can set your budget. You can get. I mean, let's just say you have, and I know her farm is almost 10,000 a month. That's how big her farm is.
Oh wow.
$10,000 a month?
No, 10. I don't know how much a month. 10,000 homes.
Oh, I see.
But I don't know how much she probably does pay a pretty penny. I'm sure she does. But I don't know the price. But I know that they do hit it hard. They do. And it's because it's a numbers game. Everything's in numbers. And she knows her numbers already. And because she's been doing it for so long, and it works, and it works, and it works. So yeah, like I said, you have a perfect example. And now you have free marketing tips because they get sent to you that you can get ideas from.
It also says home sold in 30 days, or we will sell it for free. There's all these gimmicks in the back too that they put throughout the years.
You can do that too, because number one, homes are selling, but number two, basically they tell them you have to list it at the price I tell you for that to be valid.
I know.
Sellers don't want that price. They're like, that's too low. So then, it's just to get them there. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I know you were talking about a printer. I know Brenda had a really good idea where she has HP and they do like a monthly subscription. I think she pays like $10 and they deliver ink to you on a monthly basis. So if I were you, I would check that out.
$2.99.
What?
$2.99.
What?
$2.99 a month.
For what?
For an HP
For ink.
laser?
For ink.
I don't know. I'll have to have her. I'll have to get that information. She did.
Yeah, that would be great because I have an HP.
So do
That's
I.
super cheap.
I was Googling it, so I don't know too much about it because she mentioned it and I wanted to look into it. But to be honest, I haven't looked too much into it. But I'll get the information from her and hopefully she can help us out with that because I thought it was a really good idea. I mean, you have a printer and they just deliver ink to you. Perfect. You start
Yeah.
printing.
I belong to that. It's $10 a month, and they just give you cartridges.
Yeah.
And you get so many copies a month though.
I think she said it was 1,000.
With the cartridge. If you go over that, then you pay a little bit more, but for a certain amount. And I forgot I've never gone over. I don't know if it's 500 or I'm not sure, but it is. They take $10 automatically out of my credit card, and they just send me, whenever I'm running low on color or black and white, they just send it to me. But I want to find out about that $2.99 one.
I think she said that they send you like, I think she said she got it as a deal somehow when she bought the printer, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to sign up for it. I've had it for, my printer's probably about 3 years old. I've had it for 3 years. Yeah.
Sonia, I think you had even mentioned in one of your farm classes about Corfact how you sometimes use Corfact as well, which is a
Yeah.
great product.
Corfact also is good. And the one of the good reasons I like Corfact is because they it's like a database. They keep track of who they're sending their stuff to, but they also provide like links, lead links. So it says you want to know your home's value, go to this link. So if they go to the link, then you get notified. So now you know that this person in your farm wants to know what the price of their home is. So those are also good. They're a little bit more expensive. Like if they're probably like 70 cents each. But it's because it has that lead capture. That's why. So, but you know what? It's like I said, it could be worth it. So it just depends on your budget, on what you want to do and what you're trying to do. But the main thing, like I said, is to be consistent. You got to be consistent.
Yeah.
You have to be. You can't just show up in this, and if you notice, I mean, like she says that, she sees their consistency all the time, and they do close a good amount of deals. They are, good agents. So it shows that it works. But you see, maybe in your guys' areas, like I get one here and there. There's no one that's consistent. I get maybe, I don't know, 3 a year from the same agent, maybe, and that's it. But the whole point is you're thinking, if you're consistently sending it, let's say they throw it away, but they know that you're going to send it again. They're like, oh, I know she's going to send me something in another month or so we'll get it, we'll get it again. And people look forward to, to receiving different things from you, especially if it's a valuable information. So that's another thing. You want to send stuff that, that they're going to want to, take a look at, or they're, like I said, they're going to look forward to later. So that's why when you do it directly to them, or, something having to do with them, it's, they're more likely going to engage with it, opposed to, like, let's just say you send me, I'm a new homeowner, but you're sending me, are you, in default? Are you this? That, to me, that's a waste, because I'm not. I just bought the house. So to me, it's going to go straight to the trash. So by being more strategic, obviously you save money, and you're talking directly to that consumer. So just a little bit of information, but yeah, like I said, I recommend you guys get started as soon as you can, and just start. It starts being at the office. You don't run to your farm. It takes a long time where you're scrubbing everything, and and even look at what you last sold, where you last sold. If you're a buyer's agent, look in the area you just sold, and you can, start there and just say, you know what, I have buyers for this area. I just, I brought a buyer into your neighborhood. I brought a great family into your neighborhood. Would you guys, do you know anyone that's looking to sell? Because I have more buyers that want to come into this neighborhood, or whatever, like I said, there's always ways to get started. It's just coming up with the idea and having the time.
Is there a special trick to converting from a buyer's agent to being a listing agent? I want, obviously, to me, in my short time doing real estate, my observation is that there's less work in the selling agent, a listing agent side, and so much more control. But is there a trick?
Yeah, let me show you. No, I'm just kidding.
No shortcuts.
No, there's no trick. You know what? To be honest with you, I don't know. That's like a $1 million question. I would say. I know Jamie's does listings too, but you know what I think it is? I think it comes with experience. Okay. Because if I look back to when I started real estate, I didn't list homes. So I think as I built relationships with my clients, then I started listing the homes, because now they know me, they've been in their home. And so then it just kind of grew from there. But I mean, that's my experience. But I know when I started, I wasn't a listing agent at all. What do you
Can
say?
Yeah, I was going to give a little insight. So Lupe, because you're a newer agent, I will tell you how I got started, and I'll never forget. I was in Remax Legends, and my very first trainer who trained me was Jim Boyce, who was amazing. He was in the business forever. But I will tell you, he's like, and I went through training upon training, but he said do open houses. And I will tell you, Gary Kolar was an agent. He's old time agent. I don't even think he does the business anymore. But he gave me, he's like, yeah, I have a listing over on Ramona. Go have an open house. And I was like, what do I do? You know, but as the years go by, you have no idea who is coming into your house, your open house, and actually is interviewing you, and you don't even realize it. And I can really, there was a listing, an $800,000 listing I had up on Galliano, and the people were coming in. I always asked, do you have an agent you're working with? They said, yes, we do. So you kind of ethically, you know, if they ask you questions, you just be very ethical about it. But by the time we connected, she's like, do you mind? My parents are on the way home from Havasu. Can you wait a few minutes? Sure. They come in, we all bond. She leaves, and she literally calls me like 30 minutes later. We loved you. We have a home on Blossom Way, which is another $600,000 house. We want you to list our house, and we want you to put an offer in on your listing. And literally that's how it happens. And I get so much business from open houses, because that's the best place where you can get one-on-one in front of somebody. Buyers who are usually walking in usually have a house to sell. So I've always told newer agents, and you guys see me, before this quarantine, I was not mad about being quarantined because I was working so much, and I was doing open houses every single weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And I still believe in that. A chunk of my business comes from there. So it's huge. So newer agents, open house, open house. Of course, we can't do those until probably July or August, but the second they lift that ban, you know, you will start seeing open houses everywhere for me. Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's huge.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely good information.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean, I've been doing this for so long that you forget.
Yeah.
And then your confidence level just kind of increases as you know you hear them talking and you're selling more and more. Your confidence level grows. So there's no real magic pill. It's just a matter of getting your feet more and more wet. And then when you get stuck, just reach out to one of the top listing agents, and they'll share with you.
Yeah.
I love doing listings. I mean, if I work with a buyer, I work with a buyer. But Lupe, I want to break you of your myth of, what did you say? The listing side is much easier than the buyer side as far as work. And you know, everyone's giggling because they know. Yeah, that's a myth. That's a myth. We work just as hard. We meet the appraiser. I always go to home inspections towards the end of their home inspection, so I can, and sometimes my sellers will be there too, but to communicate what I heard was, you know, what they found, to just kind of prepare my seller. I meet the termite guy. I'm like, where is she thinking it's easier? It's just as much work as the buyer side. It's really
Maybe it may be less work as far as showing the homes part,
Yeah.
like that part, you know, you're not in the car, obviously, unless you're helping your seller buy something too, but you're really not. But I think, like she's saying, our expectations are you know, our responsibilities, I think, are a little bit higher because we've met with the seller. We promised them a certain, you know, price. We promised them a certain time frame. We're getting into a contract with hoping the right agent. So we have to be able to make sure we're choosing the right buyer for this home, you know, the right person. So there's a lot more, I think, responsibility to, you know, as a listing agent. And like I said, maybe it's, you know, maybe the job for a buyer's agent is, like I said, you're showing more homes and stuff like that. But for a buyer's agent, the best thing you could do is have a buyer consultation. You have to set expectations. You have to let them know, because otherwise they're going to run you around. They're going to think they know more than you. You're the guide, you know, you're the professional. You're the one that knows you know, that should be giving them everything and not vice versa. So I think it's important to definitely, you know, put, you know, spend that hour, you know, whatever it is, to set up expectations. And not only that, you only want to show homes that they want to see. You know, back in the day, I remember, you know, it's like we would see 15 houses, you know, and again, you learn as you go. You know, now, you know, we'll try to show 2 or 3 houses. And, you know, and if you think about it, you're going to buy a home, you know, your biggest investment for most by only looking at a few, you know, but people do, they do it. And it does come with the trust. They have to trust you. You know, they have to know that you have their best interest and you're just not just trying to shove them into a box. You know, you really have taken the time. This is their best option for them. And again, show them why, you know. So, but yeah, definitely spending that hour would be definitely worth it. So later on, you're not spending more days and headaches.
You know what? When you do that, it really does. Like when I first saw her presentations, I was like, oh, there's no way that I would like not get that appointment or that listing if I had that, because I have, it just gives you that little extra boost, right? That little extra or whatever, or your listing presentation or whatever you use. But when you do take the time to create your presentations, you're not as experienced and you have that as a guide. It keeps you like in kind of like you're acting, right? So you have a model, you have a script to follow. Does that make sense, Lupe? So it's like you're not where Jamie is and you don't have a quite experience where the seasoned ones have. But when you have your presentation, and then it's kind of like role playing, like, you know, until you get the momentum going and you get used to it.
Yeah.
I've always offered to newer agents, and I'll offer this to you guys. I don't mind having somebody come with me on a listing presentation or any of that. I mean, anywhere I can help people. I know I had conversations with Katie as well to come sit open house with me before. So, I mean, I don't mind whatever you guys need help with. I
take you up on that, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can kind of take away the things that you see, you know, how we connect or how I have a conversation with a buyer that comes in. You know, the second they say they have an agent, I do be careful. But if they're asking me questions about the house, they're then going to see your personality. They're going to see, you know, what your knowledge is, that kind of thing. And you will get clients, because here's my question, and I know Sonia will agree with me. I always say, so is your agent going to be meeting you? Because I know darn well they're not with them.
I can't stand that.
And then it's like, you know, I'm like, this is the busiest time on a weekend for agent to show, you know, client's property. So you kind of like take your, you know, they laugh and you giggle and it's funny. But I was dead serious. Like, well, your agent isn't here.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
But anytime anybody wants to sit open house or, you know, anything you guys need, I'm always here for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think everybody can learn from everybody. Everybody's styles are different, approaches are different. But I think setting up, like I said, having that conversation, the biggest thing that most people do is when, let's just say, for instance, any of our phones ring right now, and they're like, "Hi, I was interested in selling my house. Okay, when are you available?" Like, okay, you just want the appointment and you're just gonna go, but you can't do that, because then you show up and you have no clue what is going on. So, you know, it's important to find out, okay, you know, why do they have to move, or do they even have to, you know, do they want to sell to buy? Do they need to get pre-qualified? You know what I'm saying? You need to know what you're up against. You know, you don't want to just show up. It's like showing up blindfolded. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to be able to go, so you have a strategy, and you want to walk out with that listing. You want to walk out doing the happy dance, as they say. You know, you want to be excited. So, and there's nothing more disappointing. And I'm telling you, because I've been through that. You know, you learn with experience. You know, you show up and you're like, oh shoot, had I known that. But again, it's my fault, because I didn't do the steps I should have done, you know, pre-qualifying the client before showing up. So it's important to know why they want to sell, what their timeframes are, because now that's what you're going to base your conversation about, those things, so that way they can see the big picture, you know, about what it is they need to do. So I mean, yes.
Oh, and I also too is giving that personal touch. And I still have a client, my second client that I ever sold over 30 years ago. He still calls me for just to ask me, hey, my son is thinking of buying, you know. So I still get calls. I'm selling to now my clients in the beginning. I'm selling to their children. And it's beautiful because I've kept in touch all these years, and I do handwrite. I handwrite the Christmas cards, the Easter cards. I handwrite just, hi, how you doing? And I address notes at saying, is the family, or I'll name them by name, or, you know, it's, if you treat your clients that you do have like gold, I mean, they're going to be loyal to you all down the decades, you know. So it's that personal touch. That's what because I haven't farmed, I haven't done, my farm area is my previous clients, but I want to do the next level. I want to start, you know, I have more time on my hands. So now I want to start a different branch, but still keep that personal touch with all my clients before. But I do want to expand my business.
Yeah. No, definitely take care of your spear. Definitely. That's important. That's one thing I enjoy doing. I love spending time with all my past clients. They're like family to me. You know, I enjoy them. So we try to plan like, and I know Marlena's been to them, Maria's been to them, Katie, Jessica, you know, I do, you know, events for them annually. Just before the COVID, we had our Galentine's Day where we did painting and had wine. It was a great event. We had over 50 women in the office. It was crazy. Honestly, you just start talking real estate. You start talking, people start talking, you know, I tell them, bring a friend. And it just goes from there. And people are like, wow, your agent did this for you? Like, she does this? And it's so people want to be around that. And I think that that's something that I've always loved to do, is I love to give back and spend time with them. It's like, it's funny because I have just today, one of my clients that bought a house for me, and actually I met her and her wife. I met them from doing a Christmas party 3 years ago for my clients. I did an annual Christmas party. Marlena was there. We had a Santa Claus and we had, you know, a DJ and food, and just, it was a lot of fun. And they were my photo booth women that I hired to do the photo booth for me. Well, when it was over, they walked me outside and said, hey, Sonia, you know what, we're thinking about buying a house, but we just haven't been sure about finding an agent. You know, all of our friends and family are referring us all these different agents that they love, but we're just not sure. But after coming to this event and seeing how you connect with your clients, we want you to help us. So I ended up selling them a house within the next few months. And I keep in touch with them. They send me referrals all the time. And it's just today, I texted her last night, actually. I said, you know what, you know, I can help you, you know, refinance, because my husband obviously does loans. And there's a special program right now with UWM. So it's for a limited time. So obviously they have to credit qualify and stuff like that, but they're refinancing conventionals at 3%. So I send it to all of my sphere. And so she messaged me back. And she says, I got this letter from my bank, and it was, you know, kind of offering her 3.25. And I said, okay, well, if you prefer to go through your bank, you can. She goes, no, I can't, Sonia, because that's like if I'm cheating on you, and I would never do that. So I was like, oh my God, how funny. But that's why I'm saying, like, you just, you develop that relationship, and they know you're sincere. They see I give back so much to them. And it's because I rather give back to them than to pay for leads. I won't pay for Zillow leads. I won't pay for leads because I rather put my money back into the people who send me you see what I'm saying? That's just personal, you know, for me. Yeah. And not only that, I enjoy it. I get to have a good time too. So it's fun. I love planning parties. I think I should have been a party planner too, because I love planning parties.
Lucky for you.
So I get to do both. I get do a little bit of both. And even during this COVID, you know, I was like, okay, we got to figure out ways for me to stay in touch with my clients, you know. So We hosted a Zoom happy hour where we had an attorney, talk to them about living trust and the importance. That was a successful event. Everybody loved that. And I hadn't seen some of those clients for a long time, but everybody was interested in attending. We did another organizational, a lady that was specializing in how to organize your home, during this time and stuff. So we try to give back, and we did on Cinco de Mayo, we did a loteria night and had a game night. That was a lot of fun. So you just do. Oh yeah, Marlena was a winner on that night. And what I did was I had my daughter, we printed the loteria cards. So whoever RSVP'd, we printed them, and then my daughter delivered them, and I delivered them like a pad with my, my information, a pin, and just, I forget, some goodies, marketing stuff. And I hand wrote a card, and I just said, thank you so much for being loyal to me and for, participating in our, loteria night or whatever. So everybody was so excited, and everybody started taking pictures and posting it all over social media. Like, oh, my realtor's better than yours. Oh, my realtor. So it's like, all that is advertisement for you, So, so I know sometimes it's hard to think outside the box, but Jessica knows me. I'm like, think of another idea. Let's get another idea going.
That's why earlier I was like, when did you make this presentation?
Yeah.
But but she's right. Like, her clients love her. Like, it's ridiculous. And they're free advertisement. Like, I edit her videos and I post them onto YouTube. And, one of the nights, I don't know what game night you were doing. I don't remember which one, but I was editing like parts of it. And in one part, one of her clients, she was talking to friends, and she's like, okay, ladies, and you weren't even there anymore. You had already gone because you left them playing. And they were like, no, seriously, if you guys need anyone, I love Sonia. Like, please reach out to her. Like, she does these all the time. Like, she's helped me through so many. Like, I really, really love her. If you want someone that you really is gonna take care of her, please reach out to Sonia. So I was like, wow, she's not even on the line. Like, she doesn't have to say that. Like, they really, really like the things that she does for her. So
Sweet.
Yeah, and plan parties like that. One, I think I had told you guys before, well, I had never played Bunko before, and it had just been COVID, just happened. And my client had a birthday party planned for herself because she's one of those that has to celebrate every year, like big party every year. And so she had to cancel her party. So she was so bummed out. And she's a friend of mine and also a very, long client. I've helped her many times, and her family and just everybody. And so I called her and I said, hey, why don't we do a game night for your birthday? We'll get all your girlfriends together, and, what would you want to do? And she's like, let's play Bunko. I'm like, okay, well, how the hell do you play Bunko? But I'll figure it out. So we ended up having about 16 women on this call. And while everybody was waiting, for them to come on, she just was like, again, I don't know any of these women. These are all her friends from her job and from whatever, her other friends, not from our group of friends. Mm-hmm. And it was a nice way to be in front of people, because she was like, Sonia is the one that decided, I appreciate because she's hosting this for me. She's not just my friend. She's my realtor. I trust her, and, blah, 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 blah. So she basically told everybody about me. So then I told them I'm going to be hosting different Zooms. Send me your email addresses, and then I'll be happy to send you guys, all the invitations. So they all did. And so that's why I'm saying you just grow and grow from there. So if any of you guys know anyone right now that are, that you feel like, look whose birthdays are coming up, you could see them on social media and maybe offer to do something for them.
How did you do your Bunko rolling?
Well, it was honor system. Everybody had their own dice. Honor system.
I was like, were you like this, like with your phone, like, okay, what did you roll?
No, it was honor system. But you know what? I never played Bunko, and I actually won $40 that night.
It's so fun.
They're like, you won. I'm like, oh, cool.
I actually first moved into my new neighborhood of the Pulte homes, and I literally started a Bunko group because we all have the Facebook neighborhood groups. And so I just put a notice out there that we were going to put together. Katie's part of my group, as a matter of fact. And then we also did next door in DR Horton. And that's how we got to know the women in our neighborhood. And we've been playing for, gosh, almost 2 years now.
That's cool.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
that's what I'm saying.
It's a blast.
Something like that. Yeah, it is. It's fun. And then, like I said, don't worry. A lot of times we get into our head where we're like, oh, they probably already have an agent, or they probably already this or that. But you know what? Like I said, not everybody wants to continue to work with that person, or maybe personalities, just don't match up. Like there's just so many things that that can come about. So just be you. Be you, and the business will come. And one more note before we hang up. So I was telling some of my agents too that even though, and see, so I just want you guys to think about this, because a lot of times people think, well, like Maria was saying, if I do my farm, how soon am I going to expect something? That don't look at it like that. Just look at it as you're putting in the work. When you put in the work, and no matter where you put in the work, just put in the work, you're going to get results. You're not going to know where they're going to come from, but you're going to see them start coming. And it's not because, oh my gosh, my farm is this blowing up. It's, I got a call from here, I got a call from there. It's just the way the universe works. Everything around you starts opening up because you're working. And I can't tell you how I believe in that 100%. And it working works. And that's it. That's it. So,
thank you, ladies, for all your words of inspiration. I so appreciate it. I feel like I have you guys all just talking to me. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Special.
You got this, Lupe.
I got it.
Yeah, you do. Like I said, wake up in the morning and be like, whose dreams do I want to, make happen today?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Who do I need to bless today? Because I know that the people that I help are blessed.
mhm,
So I know that that's how I look at it.
mhm.
Very true.
So, and that's basically all it is. And I'm telling you, I had this one girl call me. I just closed a house. Claudia, Katie helped me with this buyer. And after we closed, she referred one of her friends to us. So anyways, the friend talks to me and she said, Sonia, I think I talked to you before. And I'm like, really? I don't remember, to be honest. She said, yeah, 7 years ago, I was referred to you, but by a different person. So then she told me, and I'm like, oh, now I remember. So I told her, God works in mysterious ways. You came back around again to me. So obviously it's meant to be, because, and that has happened to me, a few times actually. So I truly believe that you're meant to work with who you're meant to work with. And it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So just do the work.
Do the work. Exactly. Do the work.
Okay.
Be honest. Don't be like some of these shyster agents.
Yeah.
Treat
don't
people
be
the
like
way you want to be treated. Yeah. And treat agents the way you want to be treated, because some agents are so cutthroat and deceitful, and then I've worked with so many good professional agents that have honor and integrity, and so yeah, I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. And then you work with such good agents, you just attract the good agents, so that's important too.
Yes, I believe so.
It really is. It really is. So
Well, I'm gonna start my farm tomorrow.
I know.
Marlena, ready?
I'm ready if you're ready.
I know, right? Come on, Lupe, you gonna start a farm? Ready?
I am starting a farm. I already reached
You
out
know
to
what? I really think that it's important. So like, even if you guys want to create a group, and you do it at the same time, because I know how it is. We get lazy, we get unfocused, it happens.
Great
So
idea.
maybe even creating a group, and then, everybody's working their own farm, their own whatever they're doing, but it's accountability. It's accountability to, okay, so this week we're going to create it. Okay, this week we're going to scrub it and put, NODs here, this here, this here, this here. And then, like I said, this week we're going to create marketing for it, because those are the things you start, but then you get overwhelmed because there's so many things that you have to do in order just to kick it off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I look at that. See, I look at it like with losing weight. It's too much work. It's like too much damn work. You got
I'd rather farm than work than lose weight.
Bigger size.
Maria, I heard that.
I know.
Marlena, when are we going to start our fitness, like, you know, accountability group?
Oh, I'm ready for that too.
Yeah?
And it's been awesome. I got a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday team, and then I've got a Tuesday, Friday girl.
Ooh.
Working out really, really good.
That's
I
awesome.
want some of that. I want some of that.
Hey, ladies, you know what, too, with your farm, the ones who haven't farmed before, if you start off, and I think it's more of a kickoff, if you start off with a bio letter, let's just say we create your 500 people, or maybe even 250, because that's obtainable to be consistent with 200, the number 250. What if you started off with a letter, a bio letter, your office letterhead, and then you create your story about yourself? That is something to kind of get you going. That would be the first piece to go out. And then you just start your 30 days from there, whether you're door knocking. And I do have this one office. This is good for COVID right now. Their sphere, what they're doing with their sphere is brown little paper bags. They've got this Party Store by me over in Sunrise Shopping Center has masks, gloves, and then of course I have some booties, and then they have these little hand sanitizers. Creating a little bag for your sphere, and you're leaving a hello, hope you're doing well letter at their door with this little.
Yep.
That sounds great. Marlena.
You know,
And I don't know if you guys know, but also because we're all part of Remax, Remax actually sells them.
There you
They're
go.
sealed kits, and I think they're like $2.50. I want to say they ordered like 48,000. Okay, this is Remax Regional, so you have to order from them, but they ordered like 48,000, and they were saying that they have to order more. That's how fast people are buying them. But yeah, it's something like that. It comes with a mask, with gloves, I think, with sanitizer, and it says Remax on it. Not on all the stuff, but on the. But you know what? What I did with Marlena was, I was offering to our sellers a home safe kit, and basically, Marlena,
Oh, yeah.
and then I had my sister also, because she's my branding expert. She's my marketing girl. And so I had her, she found these boxes, Marlene, I was going to tell you, because I know sometimes, you can only get so many. So she found these boxes, that you put the and stuff in at the Dollar Tree. And so she found them there, and then she just branded it with our name on it. And it says home safe kit or whatever. And then we put booties, gloves. And right now we just bought off Amazon some of those bottles. Cause I bought hand sanitizer in bulk.
Me too.
So we're gonna put them in bottles and give them away as well. So they're gonna be branded. She's making labels for them with our information on them.
I missed
So-
what you said. What are you putting them in?
In bottles.
No.
In
Thing.
oh, it's in a square. It's like a box. Like a square box, a fabric square box.
Oh, okay.
They were $1 at Dollar Tree, and she's our Etsy queen, so she just branded our information on there, and then it says home safe kit, and so when we go to our listings, we leave them there with the owner, and we show them that we provide a home safe kit, for their home.
Super cute. Good idea.
Great idea. Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that for, even for your buyers. When you meet your buyer for their home, you could even advertise, free home safe kit during buyer consultation or something. And then everybody wants something that's free.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what is
The
that?
COVID safe kit.
Home safe kit?
Yeah, it's really working. And then you're also kind of dropping it off to with like, caring about obviously what's going on in today's world, and maybe not so much selling of real estate, but your card's there, your information's there, and you're in their mind. So
Absolutely.
to them.
Super cute.
So Marlena, does this mean that that this is what you want me to work on instead of talking after this meeting? Do you want me to work on
Well, I think we still need to talk, because we still need to get your farm